I love watching One Bills live. It's a great television show that I think is also put on the radio. And it's hosted by Brownie here, who is the voice of the Buffalo Bills, and Steve Tasker, who I personally think is the best special teams player to ever play in the NFL. And I told the Hall of Fame that as well, because last year when I went to the Hall of Fame at the end of the tour, they asked me what was one thing they could do to make the facility better, and I said was to induct Steve Tasker, because Steve belongs in the Hall of Fame. Now, I tweeted a question to them, and Steve was nice enough to answer it on the show. It's a great show. They have Bills on there sometimes. They have great content. But let's just listen to Steve's reply to my question.
Who says, Steve, can you tell us about the iconic photo of you and your son after Super Bowl 26 and what that moment meant to you?
That photo was everywhere because we got our heads caved in that Super Bowl, and I was sitting there. What had happened was, this is 26, so we had played in Super Bowl 25 the year before and been disappointed as well, as we all know. And in the preseason of the next year, this 91 regular season, 92 Super Bowl, we played the Giants again. And I remember in the preseason, my wife brought Deke. I think he was our only child, or maybe we had a daughter, or maybe Annie was born. I guess she was around, but she wasn't there. But we had this thing where I'd point to my eye and then hug my chest and then point at him, which meant I love you.
Yeah.
So we would do that. She brought me down the front row of the stage. This was the preseason of that Super Bowl year. And I did that to him, but he watched me play. And when I was unaware of him watching, I'm out there playing, and I was at game face on, and I was serious, and it was for was playing professional football, right?
Right.
So after I did that, my wife, Sarah, leaned down, she goes, did you see what he did? And he goes, yeah. She goes, you know what that means? He goes, yeah, it means I love you. And he looked at it and he goes, Daddy doesn't love me when he's playing football. Right? Because it's the only time he ever saw me, because I was, So she told me that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of bad, got to tell, So after all that, the season was over, and I pulled him out of the stands, and, it couldn't have been a worse time. So I sat him down and, said, hey, listen, I love you even when I'm playing football,
Yeah.
And somebody caught that, and that picture was, it was all over. And then there's another picture too of him and I walking up the tunnel together. But
Yeah, you're holding hands, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
But that was why I brought him out of the stands, because he had said, I don't think Dad loves, basically Dad doesn't love me when he's playing football. So I kind of had to
make good.
I don't want to be in that boat, right? So
yeah, that'll hit you.
I had to try and talk him back into it, So that's where that picture came from, and that's why he was on the field.
I can't believe how red his hair is.
Well, I think that was the photo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was the photo.
Not that he has any on top of his head.
He
like
shaved his
either.
head with a beard now,
Yeah.
right? So he's one of those dudes. So, yeah, his hair was never red.
I was like, wow, that looked. I know kids' hair can get darker as they get older, but that was like, wow.
That's the story. His hair is black.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But that's the story behind that photo. And that photo, that may be the most widely circulated photo of my entire life. It was big because it was a big story. We didn't play well in that game, and the Redskins won, and we were 2 straight Super Bowls, and people thought, well, that's going to be it for that team, kind of thing. So there you go. That's the story.
That's a good one. I like that one. Good addition of Excuse Me, Mr. Tasker. It is time now, though, and we'll get to your phone calls in just.
So that was a great story, and I hope it's okay with One Bills Live and with Steve that I share it here on my YouTube page, because I just I didn't know that there's that big of a story behind that picture when I asked the question, and to hear Steve's love for his children, that just brings it home to you. I love hearing those kind of stories. But Total Sports Entertainment, which is based in Buffalo and does a lot of great autograph things for sports fans, sent me a package today. I just sent this question in last week. I've already got my prize here for having my question drawn, and let's see what I won. Oh, my sister is going to be upset at this. Holy cow. Oh, my goodness. Wait until you see what this is.
Just a second. Gotta get the sound bits up.
It's a jersey. Stefan Diggs. Stefan Diggs. Autographed jersey. Woo! Gotta love that. Yeah. Can you dig it? Go Bills. And as always, God loves you, and so do I.